Wait. You trying to tell me this man can't use his own name? His God-given birth name? Yeah, this is about to be some straight up bullshit. What up? It's your boy Omega. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. Omega Classic Records is the page and the name. So, what we have here, my man, Morris E. Day, from the group The Time. Born December 13th, 1957, Morris Day, if you don't know, is an American musician, composer, and actor. He's best known as lead singer of the group The Time. The Time was assembled under a clause in Prince's contract with Warner Brothers that allowed him to recruit and produce other artists for the label. Inspired by the musical film Idolmaker from 1980 about a rock promoter, Prince decided to put together a pop-funk group that would serve as an outlet for material in the vein of his own early albums while he explored other genres and styles in his own career. Now, Morris Day was a part of Prince's imprint, the Paisley Park Records, which was a label that was distributed and funded by Warner Brothers. He actually started in 1985 following the success of his film Purple Rain. Okay, now let's fast forward to today. Now, there's been an ongoing dispute over Prince's multi-million-dollar estate that has finally come to an end as of the end of March of this year, with the family splitting almost $6 million in cash. Now, according to new legal documents obtained by the Blast Commercia Bank, which was overseeing the administration and legal case involving the singer's estate, it's closing with its final distributions to the family. Now, they're saying that the estate is worth reportedly $156 million. Okay, so the final numbers involve what will now be divided in cash. In a final agreement, Prince's three oldest siblings and their families will split the wealth with New York music company Primary Wave. Prince's sister, Tyka Nelson, sold most of her stake to the estate and Primary Wave, as did Alfred Jackson and Omar Baker. Unfortunately, two of his heirs, John R. Nelson and Jackson, died while the case was still ongoing in probate. So, a part of this estate comes Morris Day, and his name and the band's name. The acclaimed singer and performer Morris Day has announced the news that the Prince's estate has said that he can no longer use his name, Morris Day, and The Time. Day shared this news on social media. According to the Prince estate handlers, I can now no longer use the name Morris Day and The Time. Mad face. I can't take this laying down, says Morris Day. Day shared more info in the post, writing, I've given 40 years of my life building up a name and a legacy that Prince and I came up with. A name that while he was alive, he had no problem with me using. I literally put my blood, sweat, and tears into bringing value to that name. In fact, he booked me on several tours and many jam-packed nights at the Paisley Park under the name Morris Day and The Time. Not once ever saying to me that I couldn't use the name configuration. However, now that Prince is no longer with us, suddenly the people who control his multi-million-dollar estate want to rewrite history by taking my name away from me, thus impacting how I feed my family. So, as of now, per the Prince estate, I can no longer use Morris Day and The Time in any capacity. Prince's estate responded with a statement to American songwriter Morris Day saying, given Prince's long-standing history with Morris Day and what the estate thought were amicable discussions, the Prince estate was surprised and disappointed to see his recent post. The estate is open to working proactively with Morris to resolve this matter. However, the information that he shared is not entirely accurate. Day and Prince co-starred in the famed Prince-led film Purple Rain and have had a decades-long creative relationship. The 64-year-old Springfield, Illinois artist, who was known as both a musician and an actor, released 4 LPs from 1985 to 2004. Prince, who famously had a restrictive relationship to his music, not allowing much on public platforms like YouTube, died April 21st, 2016. What this means for Day going forward is unclear. What name will he go by? Will he fight the Prince estate in court? Day has yet to speak on either of these options. The news brings a reminder of another name dispute between country rap lady A and Seattle blues artist of the same name. 2 years ago, Day released an emotional tribute to Prince that has since garnered over 1 million views on YouTube alone. So, man, how tragic is this? And speaking of myself specifically, grew up watching the Minnesota Sound Machine that was made and shaped and molded by Prince. Grew up watching the evolution of not only just the music, but the culture abroad with the Minnesota Sound Machine, the androgyny, the styles that these guys had with long hair, and the feminine way of dress that Prince wore with the high heels, and guys like Mickey Free that dressed the same way, and guys in Morris Day's band as well. Grew up watching this style of music that would end up shaking up the world as we know it. Now, Prince and Morris Day, if you don't know, they used to go to high school together, and so did the brother Jerome Benton. That's the guy that always holds up the mirror on stage when Morris Day needs to check his hair, and he takes a moment and a pause to look in the mirror. These guys all went to high school together. These guys were more than just musicians on tour and playing with each other. These guys were great friends. And, you know, if you know about Prince and anything about how he lived, he was a very private individual. He was somebody that didn't let a lot of people into his life, and he treated his music the same way. He didn't want to have music of his just so commercialized. He didn't want it to be overly accessible. He didn't agree with music platforms like Spotify and SoundCloud and all of that kind of shit. Prince, you couldn't find Prince there. You couldn't find him there. You had to go to a Prince website. You know, you had to go to where it was a Prince hub in order to receive his music. So him being the kind of individual that he was when he was alive, privatized, a Jehovah's Witness, somebody who held his friends and his music close, he would have not, and I'm willing to bet the house on it, he would have not allowed this to happen. This is what happens, you guys, when you don't have full control over your career, when you don't have full control and say over your life as a musician. Now, Morris Day, he was indeed on the Warner Brother imprint, but he was also a product of the Paisley Park record label, which was owned by Prince. Okay? So in the end, he may have had some kind of ownership of some sort, but it's unclear how much ownership that Morris Day actually had. I did a lot of research, and I wasn't able to really see what kind of deal Morris was under. But what I do know is that he was a part of 2 imprints. And if you look at the structure of those imprints, with Paisley Park Records being a record label that Prince erected on his own in 1985 so that he could release artists like Sheena Easton and Sheila E. and Apollonia 6 and Vanity 6 and Morris Day and the Time. Even George Clinton was on Prince's label for a stint. I have to think that with this label of his, the Paisley Park record label, being funded and distributed by Warner Brothers, we're talking about a subsidiary company, and the artists that are on the Paisley Park records, you know, are, I'm sure, afforded some freedoms, but ultimately Warner Brothers is the key to making the label thrive and work and release music. So, man, I don't really know what to say about this. It's unfortunate. You know, you look up and 40, 50 years doing music, somebody wants to come along and take your namesake, your name that you book with, that you have put out records with, that people know you by, that you sell merchandise with, that's your likeness. It's a part of your likeness. And not to mention, for an artist like Morris Day, it's even worse because it's his real birth name. Morris E. Day. Born in 57. It's his name. It is his actual real fucking name. How terrible is that? So, I don't know, you guys. I hope that the greed and that the ill business practices of the Prince family comes to recognize the error in their ways, and they do something to resolve this issue with an iconoclast of a legend from the greatest musical culture era of our time. You cannot deny that. You cannot deny Prince and his effect on music and how he has affected virtually almost every musician after him. It's a Michael Jackson effect. Period. Give that man his name, because you shouldn't have touched it in the first place. It isn't even a thing to say, oh, because he earned it. No, fuck that. Give him his name. And if nothing else, it's because it's his name. It's his real name. Coming from a time when guys were true to their craft and they used their real names. Not like today where people make up names, you know, and they go and put numbers in their names. LGB Duck 13 and all of this goofy shit. That's the man's name. It's on his birth certificate. He was born into this world with that name. How disgusting is that? But you know what? It's the music business. So this should encourage you to, if nothing else, make sure that your music is in order. Don't leave it up to one individual. Morris Day left this up to Prince. He said, "This is my friend. We went to high school together. We were great friends and always have been. I don't have to worry about my name." That's something that I can't even imagine happening. Now look at him. He's literally sitting idle until he gets his name back. And they give him an option to get his name back, kind of like a drug kingpin says to an underling. Okay, I'll sell you drugs. You just come back to me and you stop selling drugs on your own. You come to me and split the profits with me, and I'll put you back on your corner, let you go ahead and sell. It's a strong arm tactic. It's what it is. It's an old school mafia muscle tactic. Basically, just done by some goofy ass family members from Minnesota that got lawyers and financial fortitude behind them to push people like Morris Day around. It's disgusting. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. Omega Classic Records is the page and the name. Didn't mean to make this video that long, but the information was just so potent. I had to really explain, and I had to really get that off my chest because it's upsetting. So, thanks again. Like, subscribe, and share. Omega Classic Records is the page and the name. Omega, none rhymes greater. You'll soon see. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share one more time. I'm out. Peace.